So if you look at that, your most famous talk, I loved your talk in Startup Grind, like 10 minutes. I just keep watching that talk. I think it makes me think about so many new things every time I listen. You talk about you are a startup of startups. It's just a very fascinating concept. So can you tell us how you run a startup of startups, like 15 different startups inside your ecosystem? How do you do it?
Yeah, that's very near and dear to me. One thing I saw at companies like starting with my first company, appdynamics, that you build one really great product.
Yep.
At some point, it's hard to keep growing your business in a significant way with the one product, because most of the enterprise software world, that one use case, one product is around that one core use case, is not big enough for you to sustain a very high growth. So now you need to get to second use case or second product, which is adjacent, and then you have to go in a third or fourth. Now most of the times, and most companies struggle with doing that. Like the first product you build, you have some very high degree of passion around solving that problem. Someone had it as a founder, most likely. There was a lot of hunger because it was do or die, because if you don't solve it and you don't compete, the startup will die.
Yeah.
And there's a very clear accountability of the company to your investors, your board, everyone, all your employees around that. And so now you have the survival of the fittest mindset, and all that happens, and that's how startups succeed. So you build your first product. By the time you're building a second product, it's most of those things are gone, because now it's like even if the second product fails, the company is still surviving because the first product is driving some revenue. So you don't have that degree of pressure. The second is you start getting lazy on delivering the most competitive value to the customers, because you can just bundle the second product with the first product and it's not as good. Many times you don't have the people who are running it, they're not as passionate about that problem.
Yeah.
So I struggled with it at appdynamics, going from first product to second to third. And then I realized a simple realization, okay, what made us successful in building our first product so good? Why can't we just replicate that for our second product and third product and fourth product? What made very successful? Why do it any differently?
Yeah.
So let's start second product as a startup inside the company
with the same passion,
with almost the same parameters, that we don't bundle with things. So it's there is clear accountability. You win the business, you compete for the business, and if you don't have a good product, you don't win. You're not standing on the strength of your first product. Second product has to stand on its own strength and compete and win. This person who's running it is equally passionate as you were as a startup founder for the first product.
Yep.
All of the things that make your first product successful, you just bring that cultural element to it. And that started to work very well. I started experimenting with that model, inside appdynamics. And then and in appdynamics, we were by the time we were going IPO, and we did sell the company, but the day before the IPO, we grew from one product to about 10 products with this kind of 10 really good products, and that was driving a lot of our growth. So at Harness, to me it was very clear, the market for Harness is so massive in what we are building, all this next generation of developer toolchain around DevOps and DevSecOps and software delivery, that to really capture the market, we have to go from one product to 2 to 3 and 4. So we need to refine that concept that I was doing at appdynamics even more. So in Harness, we have this the startups within a startup concept built out very
15
well.
of them.
So we have, at appdynamics right now we have 15 products. And we grew so fast. Sometimes people are amazed, how did you grow just from one product 4 years ago to 15 very good. These are not 15 small mediocre products. These are really top-notch 15 products that we have built, and we're building 3 new every year. Is this startup within startup concept? These 15 products are run by 15 startup CEOs inside Harness. Makes my job easy, because we have 15 passionate CEOs running it, and there's a good degree of accountability. There is good degree of ownership. We don't bundle the things together, so there's own accountability to the customer as well. The customer can pick and choose. They can, if they think, okay, these 4 products are good, they buy these 4. They think the other 4 are not good, they don't buy it. So we earn our business on each one of them, and it was great. We are innovating at a very, very rapid pace because of that. And of course, you mentioned Amazon. That's always been an inspiration for me on that. I do think the Amazon folks will describe in a different way, but their concept was very close, very similar.
Yeah, but also they're B2C. For large part, they're B2C.
Yes.
But you're more B2B.
Well, but they eventually moved to AWS, which
Cloud,
is B2B as well, right? But the concept they had was small teams, building products, taking ownership, and then if you succeed, you get more funding, more but a lot of independence and a lot of ownership. It's very similar kind of motion, but like, I've been bringing it, in the startup world with that's what I call startups within a startup.
Yeah.
And it's driving a lot of growth for us.